In this video, I'm going to show you how I turn these tracks from this into this. With Trident plugins. So yeah, I've been doing some research into this Trident company, and apparently among those in the know, these are some of the best tracking consoles out there. Many saying that they're better than Neve, better than API, better than, I don't know, SSL. Not that people normally track on those, but maybe they do. Bottom line is Trident. Yes, Trident. They only made a few of the original A-range consoles. Then they made a bunch of Trident 80Bs, but apparently they're not the same exact pedigree. Regardless, Trident is a brand that I really haven't spoken about too much. You can find them on Slate Digital's VCC, Virtual Console Collection plugin, which I'll show you right now. You see a little fork-looking icon? Well, it's a Trident actually. But the bottom line is this was sampled from a Trident console. I believe this one was an 80B. And the main difference is the 80B is the newer module, well, newer vintage-wise. And the A ranges were not, there weren't many of them made. This video is more of an introduction into the Trident equalizers. I don't want to bore you guys with all the details, but the bottom line is you've heard Trident consoles on a variety of famous releases over the decades. So let's just get started on some before and afters, and then I'll show you the settings I used, and then you can go try out these different plugins for yourself on your own mixes. Now, to me, that just sounds like, you know, it takes a track that was recorded well, but maybe with not the best microphone, maybe not the best preamp, and it takes it the blanket off of the speaker. Now it sounds like you're in the same room as the person playing the acoustic guitar. All right, now here is a pop track, before and after. Really think that made the kick drum clearer, punchier, but it also was able to tame the harsher aspects of the snare drum and the claps. Now I have a bunch of other equalizers on here. So these are the official Trident equalizers, but we also have ones from other companies, such as this is from Red Rock Sound. We have Arturia, which I have in demo mode. And here's Red Rock Sound again, but with the Trident 80B. And then we also have Analog Obsession, has theirs as well. And then for the kick drum, I use Arturia's and Slate Digital with their Trident line-in console. So I'll just delete the ones I wasn't using so you guys aren't confused. So yes, I use Red Rock Sound's A-range equalizer. And I know it's not like an exact match, but a Trident 80B line input on Slate VCC. And then for the claps, I use the Analog Obsession. This was an 80B supposedly an 80B emulation, as well as the VCC Trident input. And just to show you what's on the master bus, we have a Trident mix bus into Loud Max, and then I have this as my spectrum analyzer from Red Rock Sound. And I was using ARC3 when I was mixing, although I did do a little bit of high-end taming after ARC3 was removed. Let's listen to what it does on a tom drum. Well, obviously there's an increase in volume, but it brings out more of the low end. It tames some of the mud from the tom drum. I thought it did a pretty good job. So after doing a little bit of research, I saw that the CB9066, it was the in-between design of the A range and the 80B modules. So it's not either or. This is a Class A hardware emulation, and that means that it's going to be a little bit smoother sounding than the 80B. And while it's not exactly like an A range, certainly with the controls and everything, it does have its own nice clean tone to it. And I thought it was very useful for when the 80B equalizer wasn't enough. So out of the two, I mean, I would love to have a shelving equalizer on this one, or I'm sorry, a shelving filter. But even though it's missing that, it has high and low pass filters. It has a sweepable frequencies. The Qs are adjustable. So just for those alone, I would, if I had to choose between the two EQ plugins, it'd be the 9066 for sure. Moving on to the rest of the mix. This is what you guys heard during the intro. So first, the guitars, they have the same exact settings on them. And so we have the 80B to start off with. And then that's followed up with the 9066. And then I have those followed up by the VLA3A, which I love, which is a Teletronics or Universal Audio LA3A emulation. And that's going into Acustica Audio Fire the Pan, which apparently or allegedly emulates the panning section of different real-world consoles. This one is a solid-state Logic console emulation. Here's the before. So I boosted the high shelf. I boosted a little bit on the high mids. So this EQ's backwards compared to most of them, where you would have the lows on the left side. So there, I cut a lot of the highs. I'm sorry, I boosted a little bit of the high end at 2 kilohertz. I cut the low end at around 400 hertz. And that's it. And you can see that the high button is pushed in. So that means that the high shelf frequency begins at 8 kilohertz. And then for the CB9066, I just used it for its high and low pass filters, because again, the 80B doesn't have those. Kick drum. This is where I think you can hear, just like with the other one, probably the biggest difference. Before, after. Before and after while playing. Let's listen to the before and after on the top snare drum mic. just, brings it forward in a good, pleasing way. I thought that recorded drum sounded pretty good as is, but anyway, let's go to another section with the overheads. Oh, I forgot to mention, I did put a 1176 all buttons in plugin. The Monster from Slate Digital is on here. And actually, for this one, I reduced the high end and cut a lot of 400 hertz out of the drum overheads. And actually, it looks like I brought down the low end as well. It's always a balancing act. That's what equalization's all about. I like to cut more than boost, but if an EQ sounds good, boosting it sounds fine. But if I can get away with cutting, I'll cut first, before and after while playing. Now I'm going to add the Monster while it plays. And then finally, let's add in the rest of the drums to the overheads and the guitars. Actually, I'll just do the drums first. Sounds awesome. So anyway, I hope you guys go and check out some of these plugins. I will leave links below in the pinned comment. And that's about it. Thank you all for watching. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Give it a Trident up. If you like that I recorded a second video, let me know, because that's how I'm going to be doing things from now on. Apparently that's what everybody likes. That's what the algorithm likes. So give me a Trident up and leave a comment. It helps me. Peace. Wait, I meant to do that. And now it sounds like, dog.